Here at Barcelona, that's what I was trying to say. I'm Travis Hansendorp here, commentating our 8th race of the year. First car on track starting his lap is Fernando Rosario. Started a little bit late here. He's already on his timed lap. Sorry for the late start. But Fernando Rosario been in some controversy lately. Yeah, it was Fernando. Called out some of the stewards, didn't think penalties were handed out correctly. He'll hope to hopefully back that up with a win here tonight. But a little farther back, Ridwan Hamza, your champion of this series, already clinched that in the in the feature race last week at Austria, Red Bull Ring. Already clinched his championships. Now he's just racing to continue his streak of wins. Still has not went a night without winning at least one of the two events. Swept all the feature races this season. Won all of the endurance races this season. I think he's missed a couple of sprints, but besides that, he's been perfect. So, he's hoping to keep that alive tonight. As once again, we have the sprint feature lineup. Stefan Robichad, top of the board with a 143. Slightly ahead of... Oh no, AJ Nickel now, top of the board. AJ was struggling with the pace of his car a little bit in practice, but seems like he might have gotten that figured out with a 142. He'll take over provisional pole. Ridwan slotted into P3, a 10th back of Robichad. Farther back, I'm pretty sure this is someone new to the series. Little late season addition to one of the teams. Let's see if we can get their names correct. As we try and find that, Keenan Kimber, P6. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he's shown great pace so far in his limited starts, P7. Marcus Snow, P8. Fidel Fabian back to the series for Turn 1 Autosport, P9. Jamal Stallings rounds out your current top 10 in P10. It doesn't look like he actually got a lap down. Top 9, though, all do have actual laps. Slayer, let's see if I can get his name. Kevin Kepley, there we go, alright. Kevin Kepley, that's who it is. Alright, Kevin Kepley went P5. I'm pretty sure this is for his first race of the season. I don't think he has. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got points on, or he's gotten points this season. So first race of the season for him, I'm pretty sure. AJ Nickel looking to improve on his lap time. But we'll go to the first car. Fernando Rosario decided to dive it back in for tires. Same with Ridwan Hamza. Robichad went faster. He went up to P2, a 10th back to AJ Nickel. See if AJ Nickel improves. He does not. He'll come into the pit lane for a new set of soft tires. Farther back, see if anyone decides to stay out. Kevin Kepley comes in for a new set. Keenan Kimber. See if he'll come down pit road. He'll also come down pit road, so it seems like about everybody except Stefan Robichad decided to come down pit road. Marcus Snow looked like he also stayed out. He jumped up, I think, into P7, so pretty good lap from Marcus Snow. It's still the only drivers to lap time so far are top 10. Riker Lummel. I don't think we had Riker. We might have had Riker last week, I'm not sure, but he's in P11 right now, still has yet to set a lap time. Steve Kuntz had a pretty good race last week. He's P12 right now. He's about to finish his first lap. He'll go P4. Good lap from Steve. 5/10 off of pole. See if he can improve on that after that outlap. Gabe Cazzola also on the racetrack still to set a lap time. We got another new addition to this series. See if I can find their name. It's Dan Mettello. Alright, Dan Mettello. First race of the season. He's coming onto the front straightaway now. We'll see what his lap time is. P13 with a 145.4. Not the greatest lap for Dan. He'll hope to improve on that on his next one. Fernando Robichad decided to stay out again on these old softs. Has to be up on his lap time. He is. Goes to provisional pole. Great lap from Robichad. Fantastic lap, honestly. Did not expect that on 3-lap old softs now. He'll have to, I don't even think he'll get another lap in on new softs even if he's able to pit, so that might be it for Robichad for qualifying. So we'll go back. Rosario is going to be starting his lap soon. He's got a great slipstream from Marcus Snow down the front straightaway. Luke Allen went P7. Failed to mention that at first. Luke Allen with a pretty solid lap in P7. Slot in between Kevin Kepley and Keenan Kimber. So we go back up here to Rosario. P5 currently. Field actually quite close. And closer than usual, honestly. Usually you'd see Ridwan about a second ahead of everyone. Maybe AJ Knickel not too far behind than everyone else. But right now, top 5 all within 6/10. Really promising stuff here. Rosario still right behind. Oh my goodness, just stuttered over my words there because Riker Lummel, our podium finisher from Spa, goes P4. Riker was really excited for this track. He felt that his Honda had a little more pace here than the other racetracks, so he's showing that it does indeed have more pace here than other racetracks. Riker Lummel goes P4. Really, really good lap from Riker. Dan goes a little bit faster at 1:43.3. We'll go back to Rosario here. So he'll be the first one of these guys. I think Marcus Snow is also who's right ahead of him most of the lap. Robichad went even faster on his pole time, a 39.8. Those Warren softs are doing him good. He'll have one last lap, it seems like. This will be his final lap of the session, but Robichad is really showing out here. As we'll go back to Rosario, he's coming through the final set of corners now, coming through the final corner. Right behind Marcus Snowdown now in the dirty air. He'll get a great slipstream though to the line. We'll see where it puts him. Doesn't improve on his lap time. Now he'll have to get by Marcus Snow if he wants to have a better lap this time. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer goes P7. Ridwan fast on his lap time, but not enough to get to pole. Still 4/10 off of Stefan with a 42. AJ Knickel doesn't go faster on his time either. This will be his final lap along with Ridwan. Kevin Kepley goes a little bit faster. P8 still. Who was that? It was, oh, there was someone I wanted to look at. It was Steve Kuntz. There we go. Steve Kuntz coming through the final 2 corners now. Riker Lummel goes even faster. A 1:46 now. He'll have one last lap. See if Steve Kuntz can get to the line in time, as he should. At the line, he'll go P4. Steve Kuntz back up into the top 4 with a 1:47. Or 1:45, sorry, the little lap time glitched out there. Wasn't sure why. We'll go back to Stefan Robichad. He has a time penalty, so this lap time will not be faster. He'll dive it down in the pit lane. So, with that, we'll go to our first car that'll finish their lap times here. We'll go to Rosario, and then it should be Marcus Snow after that, if I'm correct. Rosario hoping to improve on his 6th place starting spot. Let's come through the winding right-hander into the final 2 corners. Penultimate corner now. A little bit of a lift. Don't want to lift too much. Same thing here, just a tiny bit of a lift. He'll get off the final corner well. Not a lot of curb used on exit at the line. It's going to be still not good enough to improve. He'll start at best P6. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer goes faster into P5. Great lap from Jurg. Ridwan will not improve on his time. Neither will AJ Knickel, who looks to have had a little bit of an issue there. Might have went around. So anybody else here who still hasn't a chance to improve, Riker Lummel is one of those cars. Trying to find someone else. Kevin Kepley did go faster. Not enough to improve on his time. I think it was Gabe Cazola I saw. Yeah, Gabe goes faster. Not enough though. Where? Right there he is. Riker Lummel. All right. At the line. Can Riker improve? He cannot. He'll stay P6. And I think that's it for your top 8 on track. Keenan Kimber will be the next across the line. He can't go faster. Neither was he. There's one car back there. One straggler. It's Fidel Fabian. And he's not on a serious lap time. So your pole sitter here at Barcelona will be Stefan Robichad. Flying lap time. Only person to get into the 39s. A 39.8. Great lap time from him. Knickel will start P2. Ridwan Hamza, your champion, will start P3. He'll hope to improve on that. Steve Kuntz, P4. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer continues to impress with a P5. Riker Lummel, P6. Fernando Rosario, P7. Probably going to be disappointed with that effort. He'll have to improve on that through the sprint race. Kevin Kepley, P8. Keenan Kimber, P9. Luke Allen rounds out your top 10. Marcus Snow, P11. Jamal Stallings, P12. Gabe Cazola Fidel Fabian, T1A teammates, P13 and 14, and then Dan Matello will round out the grid here in P15. So interesting qualifying. I think it's like the top 8 are all within a second. Not a lot of races you've seen that so far this season where the top 8 is so close together. Could really be a lot of drivers shooting for that final podium spot, second podium spot, maybe even a win here. I'm not sure though. Stefan Robichad really flexed his muscles here in qualifying. Ridwan's going to be scratching his head figuring out what went wrong there. He might have had a little bit of an issue there. Might have just extended just a tiny bit too much and gotten that time penalty, ruined his qualifying. AJ Knickel, oh, so we saw him as we went back to him. Had a little bit of a mistake, might have went around, so they'll look to improve on the start here of the sprint race. 9 laps for our sprint, and I think we're doubled. I think we go to probably, is it 18? It might be 8. It might be less. Not sure how much we have for the feature race. Usually it's doubled or something around there, so I'd say 17, 18, something like that. So we'll get ready to start our final sprint race of the season. So next week at Bathurst, we'll have an endurance race to round off the season. So final sprint race here. Let's get into the lobby. There we go. All right. We'll wait for the red lights to appear. There we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Oh, somebody got a jump start in the back. Stefan Robichak gets a decent start, but not better than Steve Kuntz. Steve Kuntz trying to make it 3 wide up the middle for second place. Not going to happen. Ridwan now looking to the inside of Stefan Robichad. Got a way better start than Knickel. Knickel falling back into P3. Ridwan Hamza P3 to the lead entering turn 1. Stefan Robichad now going to try and make the move back on the champion, but AJ Knickel now going to look up his inside for P2. Side by side for P2. Steve Kuntz got a really good start, but wasn't able to jump on it. Side by side for P2. Not going to try and let Ridwan get away, but if they keep battling, he's going to do just that. Stefan Robichad battling really hard for that position. AJ a little bit loose on the outside, not able to keep that. Stefan Robichad takes back P2 as Steve Kuntz side by side with Fernando Rosario, P7 to P5 on the start. Good start from him. I'm not sure who had that jump start in the back. We'll have to go through the field here in a second and look. But Rosario all over the back of Steve Kuntz looking for a way past. Not going to happen through there, but he might have a shot off the corner. Looks to the inside, gonna think better of it. Back up here, AJ Knickel all over the back of Robichad, way wide, goes everyone there. Might have a couple of time penalties given out there if they're not careful. AJ Knickel all over the back of Robichad as he tries to chase down Ridwan Hamza. Top 3 gained a little bit of a gap. Rosario takes over P4. Steve Kuntz might have made a little bit of a mistake there as Jonathan Jurgensmeyer looks to take advantage of that in P6. Looks like we lost a driver in the front. It's Kevin Kepley. He's fallen to P15, might have went off there. I'm not sure what happened to him. Meanwhile, Ridwan Hamza will lead the first lap of this sprint race from P3. Really, really good start from him there. I thought Steve Kuntz might have had all of them. He might have went from P4 to P1, but he couldn't get it done. And Ridwan was able to take advantage of the slow start from Robichad and Knickel. Knickel really, really almost got put in a bad situation there with his start. Robichad now trying to chase Ridwan back down after the slow start with Knickel all over his rear end. It's Robichad within 4/10 now, trying to chase him down. Come out of the first sector, still all over the back of Ridwan. You can tell that he's got a lot of pace in this Mountain Dew race car. Knickel really loose off that corner again last lap. You saw him on the outside of Stefan get loose. Same thing this time around. Stefan, though, all over the back of Ridwan there as he gets really loose off the corner. Knickel now going to go around his outside for P2. Got on the throttle a little bit too early and lost the rear end, and that cost him P2 and maybe a chance at this sprint win, as that's going to give Ridwan the breathing room he needs to pull away now. Unless AJ Knickel can capitalize on that mistake from Stefan Robichad. So he'll come down the straightaway, try and use the slipstream to his advantage. Hard braking zone here. Oh, and on top of that, Robichad has a penalty now, a 5/10 penalty. Not exactly sure where that's going to be served at, but that's going to hurt him a lot. On top of that mistake, that's going to put him about 2 seconds back of Ridwan. So he's going to have to hope that Knickel catches him and they start battling, or else he'll be out of this win. As we come around to complete the second lap of this sprint race. Ridwan showing why he is the champion. Got out to a great start, capitalizing on mistakes as he sets the fastest lap of the race so far. That's AJ, sorry. AJ Knickel sets the fastest lap of the race. 49 on the second lap of this race. Knickel hard into the braking zone. A lot harder than Ridwan was, and he gained a lot of time on him through there. Lost it on exit though. Let's go farther back. Steve Kuntz started to pull away from Jurgensmeyer, who is under pressure from Gabe Cazzola. Gabe Cazzola started P14 in this race. He's already up to P7. Looking now on Keenan Kimber for P6 after he gets the job done on Jurgensmeyer. If he can, Jurgensmeyer fighting hard around the outside to keep that position. Looks like he might just do that. Might have made a little bit of contact with Cazzola. Cazzola is going to go a little bit wide. Yeah, definitely contact made there. As Keenan Kimber has a 5/10 penalty. You see that. Robichad, he's going to serve it up here, it seems. He's reeled in Knickel a lot on this lap, and Knickel's starting to lose Ridwan just a tiny bit. Top four are pulled away from the rest of the field. Robichad serves his penalty. We'll see if Rosario dives it down his inside. Not enough or too much of a gap there for Rosario to make a move. Top four all within 2 seconds. All still have a decent shot at this. Knickel, he's able to reel Ridwan back in a little bit. Gap now down to 5/10, almost within 5/10. Now it is. He got off that corner into that corner really well. See at the line what it'll be. It's about 5/10 once again. Fernando Rosario that time by with the fastest lap of the race, a 58, as he closes in on Robichad. So once, like I said, the top four gone from the rest of the field. 4 seconds ahead of Steve Kuntz, or about 4 seconds, I should say. Steve Kuntz kind of got dropped there as he got pressured from Rosario, and then I think had to fend off battles from Jurgensmeyer and Keenan Kimber. Knickel still trying to reel in Ridwan Hamza while not using up too much of his tire. You see Ridwan, now that I look at it, Ridwan decided to go with the mediums for this race as the 3 cars behind him all went softs. And Ridwan's used up his mediums about how much Robichad and Rosario have used up their softs. Knickel really struggling for left front tire grip at about this stage, about halfway through the race. It's already about halfway gone. He's going to have to conserve that tire a little more if he wants a chance to win this race and then defend off everyone else once he gets by, if he can get by Ridwan. So everybody testing the limits of that corner right there. Svein Robichad is really caught up to the back of Knickel as he's at the fastest sector of the race. Fastest sector 2. Knickel went wide in that corner. So now Robichad's going to be side by side with him through this section. He's going to take better of it though. Kind of just lets Knickel take back the position. I don't think he really wanted to make the move there, but didn't really have a choice as Knickel went wide. So now they've lost a lot of time to Ridwan. A second back now. See if Robichad makes a move into turn 1 here with the slipstream helping him out. See everyone coming down the front straightaway. AJ and Knickel with his left sides in the grass. Robichad with a little bit of a wider entry into the corner. See how that works out for him on exit. It worked out really well as he got to the inside of Knickel. He's going to try and make the move on him. He might end up completing it. No, not going to happen. He's going to have to slot back in line. Not able to make the short way work. So now Rosario on the back of Robichad as Knickel is under pressure from both of these guys. Really loose off of this corner once again. Robichad once again going to look to the inside. Rosario making it 3 wide into the corner. Barely doesn't make contact with Knickel there. As Rosario takes over the final podium spot, now we'll try and make quick work at Knickel and try and chase down Ridwan Hamza. AJ Knickel probably didn't enjoy that at all, as he had to go the long way around that 3 wide action. Robichad probably not too happy with Rosario in general after that move. See if he makes a move on him entering this corner. He's pretty close to the back of him. Not going to happen through there. Knickel much better this time around. So they've lost now 2 seconds to Ridwan Hamza with all the battling. Ridwan has said peace out to these guys. So they're coming to 4 laps to go here in this sprint race. Meanwhile, back here, Keenan Kimber trying to chase down Steve Kuntz for 5th place. Jurgensmeyer has been able to fend off the charges from Gabe Cazzola, and now he's going to have to fend off one from Riker Lummel. Riker kind of slipped back in this race just a little bit. He started P6, back to P8. Hoping to make that work through the rest of this race. Gabe Cazzola, 1 spot out of pole position for the feature race. He's hoping one of these guys make a mistake up there because he's struggling right now on the softs. Speaking of struggling on the softs, Keenan Kimber, his tires are really worn. He's going to have to be conserving them just a little bit for the end of this race. Back up here, Rosario still about as close as he was last time we checked in on this to Knickel. Wasn't too happy with Knickel last time we were here, or last time in this series we were out at Austria. Knickel decided to best for action is to guard the inside, but Rosario gonna go the long way around on AJ Knickel. They're going to be side by side in these corners. Not really a place you want to be side by side. Rosario just going to give him the position. Fight for a better spot here. Going to look to the inside once again. Knickel going to give him as little room as possible. And Rosario might have just scraped him just a tiny bit. Not too bad though, as they go side by side down the straightaway. Knickel, I don't think he's going to have much of a shot at it. Rosario will take over P2, and now Robichak going to look for P3 on Knickel. Not going to happen though. He'll have to look for a better spot to pass him in. Rosario, clean but aggressive move there. Good stuff from him as he moves his way up to P2, and maybe he'll make a late charge for Ridwan Hamza, who is now out to a 3.8 second lead. See if AJ Knickel is able to get off this corner well enough and make a move back at Fernando Rosario as they hit the line for 3 to go this time by. AJ Knickel gonna look to the inside. Rosario tried to cover it off, but not enough. They might even be 3 wide as Robichad looks to the outside. AJ Knickel late on the brakes, sends it in, and he'll make it stick on. We'll see if he can make it stick on exit though. So Rosario just let him have it. Really wasn't much he could do with the slipstream advantage that Knickel had. Rosario now tries to see if he can find another way back around Knickel. Last time around it was on the exit of this corner that he got by Knickel. We'll see if he can make it happen. So they're battling really hard for this P2 spot. Might have gotten to the back of Knickel there as he goes really wide. Rosario got loose off the corner as well, and Robichad now had to back off a little bit there as he wasn't able to get around the outside of Rosario. Rosario got into the corner deep and made contact with Knickel. So these two, like I said, not too happy with each other after the incident in Austria in turn 3 last week. Rosario thought there should be a penalty handed out for the incident. There was none handed out. And I think Rosario's driving him a little more aggressively than he usually would as he almost gets back into the back end of Knickel once again. He's all over the back of AJ Knickel. These guys just continue to let Ridwan Hamza pull away. It's going to be a 4-second gap as Ridwan hits the line for 2 to go. Really has not had to worry about much after he got the lead in this Grand Prix. Robichak got that penalty and he never really had to worry after that. Like I said, he just kind of cruised to it. So we'll go back in the pack. AJ Knickel, his left front was not going to make it to the end, so he'll have to pit. He'll have to give up valuable track position, valuable points to put on a new pair of softs. We'll see if anyone else decides to do that. Keenan Kimber also struggling on tires. He might also have to be coming to pit road soon. I mean, that's the only way I can understand that Knickel would pit there is the tire. He might have been low on fuel, but I see no reason why that would be the issue. Yeah, no, Gabe Cazzola, I don't know why I called him Gabriel, that was a mistake. Gabe also came down pit road there. So it had to be tire related there for Knickel and Cazzola. As you go through the field now thinking, Keenan Kimber, I don't see any way he can make it if Knickel and Cazzola had to pit. He'll have to come down pit road this time, I assume. Riker Lovell, Jamal Stallings, both have to be in dire need of tires. Same with Fidel Fabian. It's Gabe Cazzola and AJ Knickel actually. I think one of them went on mediums. Yeah, Gabe Cazzola went on mediums. It's back here. Rosario now trying to fend off for P2 as Robichak got a great launch off the corner. He'll look to the outside, try to go the long way around in this hairpin. Maybe a cutback as Rosario goes wide. Robichak is going to make the move. Great switchback from Robichak. Great move by Stefan there. Got him to go wide and do the switchback on exit. As Ridwan Hamza is going to come through the final corner to hit the line for the final time here in this sprint race. He'll start P8 for the feature, but he'll grab the sprint win and continue his streak of wins. Robichak, though, even though he made the pass, he got a time penalty. So he's going to have to find 5/10 in this lap somehow to fend off P2. But Rosario's got a great slipstream. He's going to look to the inside and entering turn 1. Rosario trying to make the move happen. Really, really tight racing. Robichak going to clear him on exit, keep P2. But for how long can he keep that position with that time penalty? Rosario, he's going to get a nice little slipstream down here, but I don't think it'll be enough to make a move. So Robichak comes off the corner, he gaps him just a little bit. Keenan Kimber decided not to pit, to tough it out on those tires. Not sure if that was the right call or not, but right now, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. You've already dug your grave. Back up front, though. Rosario trying to stay within enough of a gap to where he can capitalize on this time penalty that Stefan Robichak has. He's going to have to serve it on this straightaway. We'll see if he can keep the position. So serve it right now. There it is. Rosario is going to easily clear him before he even enters the corner. Had to go a little bit shallow entering the corner. Robichak tries to make the shallow move work once again, but it's not going to happen. Back up to the front. Ridwan's going to come through these final corners, and once again, Ridwan is going to win a sprint race here in this season. He's going to continue his streak of winning at least one race a night in this season. Ridwan Hamza going to come down the front straightaway and win the sprint race here at Barcelona. Rosario, after the penalty with 2 to go from Robichak, will take P2. Robichak P3. Steve Kuntz fends off Jurgensmeyer for P5. He'll take P4. He'll take P4. Jurgensmeyer P5. Keenan Kimber somehow, someway made it to the end on those tires. I'm not sure exactly how it had. I'm not sure how he did that, but P6 for Keenan Kimber, Riker Lumble P7, and Jamal Stallings P8. So that'll be your invert right there. Luke Allen P9, 1 spot out of the invert. Kevin Kepley P9 after or P10 after something happened to him on the start. He might have went around. He might have jumped the start and had to drop to the back. I'm not exactly sure. Phil Fabian P11, one of those guys who I'm not sure exactly how they made it to the end. Jamal Stallings also one of those guys. Marcus Snow P12, AJ Knickel, first guy who had to pit P13. Hopefully he finishes on podium so I can ask him what exactly happened there. I'm not sure what the deal was there. Gabe Cazzola, just like Knickel, also had to pit. He's P14. And Dan Molino P15 on the grid. So the invert, like I said, it'll be Jamal Stallings on pole, Riker Lummel P2, Keenan Kimber P3, Jurgensmeyer P4, and so on and so on. So Ridwan, after he wins this race, is going to have to go to the back, start P8 for the feature. He'll have to make his way through the field fairly quickly if he wants to bend his streak of feature wins. Still has not lost a feature race this season. So Ridwan, story in that one was Robichak honestly just made 2 really big mistakes. Honestly, the first one took him out of any chance for the win, put him behind Knickel and Rosario, and he could never really capitalize on it afterwards when he was in P2 and still had a shot at Ridwan. And then the second one cost him P2 with 2 to go. Both 5/10 penalties, both in pretty much the same corner, so he'll have to clean that up if he wants a chance in the feature race. As for points, I don't think that really does much, but we'll check it out. I mean, Knickel's got a pretty solid gap over Rosario for P3. We'll look at how many points you get for P2. You get about 12, or you get 12. So that'll put Rosario at 125 and Knickel's 166. So it's going to be a lot. He's going to need a lot to go get P2, but still possible. Robichak P4, not too far back of Rosario, but that doesn't help his chances. He loses 3 points to Rosario there in that sprint race. So instead of being 17 behind, he's now 19 behind, or not 19, 20 behind Adam Pelk P5 in the points. He did not show up tonight, so Keenan Kimber might have a shot at P5 if he can get some solid results in. P6, like I said, Keenan Kimber. Riker Lummel P7. He's not too far behind Keenan Kimber. He might have gained some points on him there. I'm pretty sure he finished ahead of Keenan. Not exactly sure, though. And then rounding out your top 8 is Steve Kuntz. Tyler Heff not able to show up tonight, P9. And Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is P10. Jurgensmeyer with his limited starts, I'm pretty sure was his first start was the Nürburgring. So this is his 4th event, I think, right? Yeah, 4th event. Oh, and the lobby broke. That's great. Let me get my phone to make sure I didn't just lag out, because that's been the issue. We'll see what happened. Oh, and I did that accidentally. That's... wow. And the game's going to be broken. This is great. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's alright. Alright, we're gonna... I think the game broke, so... For once, it's a